Hello, English learners. Welcome to my English podcast channel. I'm Julie, your guide on this journey to mastering English. Whether you're at home, on the go, or taking a break, I'm here to help you improve your English, one meaningful story at a time. Now, for today's episode, we've got something really special for you. We're going to explore a beautiful story that takes us back in time, a conversation between a curious grandchild and a wise grandfather. The grandchild asks a question that many of us have probably wondered about. What was life like before all the technology we rely on today? Sounds pretty tough, right? Well, listen to the story and dive into its deeper meaning. How the simplicity of the past can teach us valuable lessons about living in the present. Plus, we'll break down some key vocabulary from the story that you can use in your own conversations. Trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll not only have improved your English, but also gained a new perspective on life. So, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
One day, a curious grandchild turned to their grandfather and asked, "Grandpa, what was life like back in your day without all the technology we have now? How did you get by without computers, the internet, mobile phones, or even cars and air conditioners?" The grandfather smiled warmly, remembering the days gone by, and said, "My boy, life was simpler, but it was full of joy in ways you might not expect. We didn't have all the gadgets and machines that you have today, but we were happy and content. Our lives were deeply connected with nature. We spent our days outside, exploring the world around us. We rode our bikes without helmets, feeling the wind in our hair as we raced down the streets. We ran freely through fields, playing games that we made up ourselves. When we got thirsty, we didn't grab a bottle of water from the fridge. We drank from fountains or streams. The water was fresh and clean, and we didn't need anything more. Our health was strong. Even though we didn't have vitamins or supplements, we walked barefoot, feeling the dirt and grass under our feet, and it made us tough. We never worried about gaining weight, even though we ate bread and pasta every day. Our days were filled with activity, whether we were helping our parents with chores or playing outside. This kept us fit and healthy, without the need for diets or exercise routines. When it came to relationships, things were different too. Our parents weren't rich, but they gave us something far more precious than money. They gave us love, attention, and guidance. We didn't need expensive gifts to feel loved. We didn't have cell phones, DVDs, or video games to keep us busy. Instead, we used our imagination and creativity. We made our own toys and played with them for hours. We didn't have virtual friends. We had real ones. We could walk over to a friend's house without calling ahead, and we were always welcome. We'd share meals with their family, sitting around the table, talking, laughing, and building memories that have lasted a lifetime. Our generation was taught to respect and listen to our parents. They were our first teachers, and we learned so much from them. Now, as we grow older, we find ourselves in a new role, listening to our children. It's a strange feeling, being both the teacher and the student. But that's what makes us special. We're a generation that lived through a time that was very different from today. We're a rare breed, and the things we've seen and learned are treasures. So, my boy, take advantage of us while you can. Learn from our stories, our experiences, and our mistakes. We won't be here forever, but what we can teach you will last a lifetime.
What was a touching story, wasn't it? There are a few key lessons we can take away. First, the grandfather's connection with nature reminds us to appreciate the outdoors more. A simple walk or spending time in nature can bring peace in our busy lives. Then, there's the focus on health. The grandfather stayed fit by staying active in everyday life, showing us that sometimes it's the simplest activities that keep us healthy. And finally, the value of relationships stands out. Love and attention were more precious than material things. It's a great reminder that the best connections come from spending quality time with others, not just through screens. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by technology or caught up in the rush of daily life, remember the grandfather's words. There's so much value in slowing down, appreciating the simple things, and nurturing the relationships that matter most. These lessons from the past can guide us to live more fulfilling lives in the present. Now, let's talk about some of the interesting words and phrases from the story that you might find useful. But don't worry, I won't just throw definitions at you. Let's explore how these words fit into the story and how you can use them in your everyday conversations. The first one is connected with nature. When the grandfather talks about being connected with nature, he means that their lives were closely tied to the natural world. They spent a lot of time outside, enjoying the simple pleasures like fresh air and open spaces. You can use this phrase when you talk about feeling in tune with the environment around you, like saying, I feel really connected with nature when I go hiking. Then, barefoot. The grandfather mentions walking barefoot, which means without shoes. It's a simple word, but it paints a vivid picture of those carefree days. You might say, I love walking barefoot on the beach. It's so relaxing. Next is genuine. He talks about genuine friendships, meaning real and sincere. In today's world of online friends, having genuine connections is something special. For example, I value genuine conversations with my close friends. Then we have imagination. They used their imagination to create their own toys and games. This word is all about creativity and thinking outside the box. You might use it like this. Children have the best imagination when they play. And finally, rare breed. The grandfather calls his generation a rare breed, meaning they're unique and special. It's a way to describe something or someone that's one of a kind. For instance, she's a rare breed of artist with a style all her own. I hope you found those words helpful and that the story gave you something to think about. Life today is fast-paced, but sometimes it's good to slow down and appreciate the simpler things, just like the grandfather did. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about today's story? Do you have any experiences or thoughts you'd like to share? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of English Podcast with Julie. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.